When we think of Lord of the Mysteries, the first characters that come to mind are often Klein, Ammon, or the gods who loom over the narrative. But today, I want to talk about someone far quieter. Someone who isn't extraordinary in a supernatural sense, yet embodies one of the most grounded and powerful themes in the entire story. That person is Melissa Moretti. Melissa is Klein's younger sister, and while she never takes the stage as a beyonder, her character represents the essence of resilience, responsibility, and the weight of ordinary life in a world filled with the extraordinary. To understand Melissa, we need to begin with her family. Her father was a sergeant in the Royal Army who lost his life in a colonial war on the southern continent. His death left behind not just grief, but also a meager bereavement allowance, money that allowed Klein to attend language school, setting him on the path to university. Her mother was a devout follower of the Evernight goddess, but she too passed away, right around the time Klein was admitted to Koi University. In the space of just a few years, the Moretti siblings lost both parents and were forced to hold their small world together on their own. With only Benson's clerk's salary keeping the family afloat, the Morettis lived in constant financial strain. And it was in this fragile environment that Melissa's character truly took shape. She became the silent pillar of the household, the one who calculated every penny, rationed every meal, and carried herself with a seriousness far beyond her years. From the very beginning, Melissa stood apart from other girls her age. She was fascinated not by appearances or social status, but by gears, springs, and the hum of steam. She dreamed of becoming a mechanical engineer, and despite her family's financial burdens, she earned a place at Tingen Technical School. This choice isn't just a hobby. It reflects her personality. Machines are orderly, logical, and dependable. For a girl who grew up surrounded by instability, death, poverty, and uncertainty, the predictability of machinery was a refuge. By fixing broken gears, Melissa was symbolically trying to impose order on a life that was anything but ordered. Despite being the youngest sibling, Melissa often acted like the mother of the household. She cooked, managed expenses, and constantly reminded Klein and Benson about the importance of frugality. Her reminders about buying the right amount of bread, saving for emergencies, or not wasting money were survival strategies. The Moretti family lives on the edge of poverty, and Melissa shoulders this reality in a way that Benson and Klein cannot. Benson, for all his effort, is too idealistic. Klein, especially after transmigrating, often feels disconnected from mundane concerns since he is more focused on returning home. Melissa had watched her family collapse once already. She wasn't going to let it happen again. Yet even within this strict practicality, glimpses of her youth shone through. She blushed when enjoying a rare meal, treasured a new dress, and even pretended not to care while secretly wearing it longer than she admitted. Her circumstances simply forced her to grow up too quickly. Melissa's defining trait is her practicality, but it's better understood as a form of anxiety. She constantly prepared for the worst, warning Klein about job loss, sudden misfortune, or unstable governments. Her cautious mindset reflects a childhood shaped by loss, and the death of both parents taught her that nothing in life was secure. And so, Melissa sought security in the only way she knew how, through logic, savings, and discipline. Her arguments with Klein about moving to a bigger home, or her resistance to spending on luxuries, reveal her fear of instability returning. Still, Melissa isn't without softer sides. She tinkered with scrap metal, building small mechanical puppets that gave her a sense of control. She quietly enjoyed the small joys of life, even if she didn't admit it openly. Her contradictions, logical but sentimental, maternal yet youthful, make her one of the most human characters in the novel. She carried burdens beyond her years, yet in moments of laughter, meals, or clothing, we see the young girl she was supposed to be. All of Melissa's strength is tested when Klein dies. Her reaction is chillingly restrained. She doesn't collapse into tears immediately. She becomes silent, detached, almost puppet-like. For a girl who had built her identity around control and discipline, Klein's death was the ultimate chaos, something she could neither prepare for nor prevent. She doesn't cry immediately. Instead, she falls into silence, like a puppet with its strings cut. This reaction shows how deeply she internalizes grief. Melissa has always bottled up her emotions for the sake of others, and in this moment, that habit consumes her. Only after everyone leaves does she finally break down, throwing Klein's whistle into the coffin and crying as she calls him stupid. That single word encapsulates her heartbreak, anger at his sacrifice, pain at being abandoned, and sorrow at losing the brother she relied on, even as she played the role of caretaker. So what does Melissa represent in Lord of the Mysteries? On a personal level, she is Klein's anchor to the mundane world, the reminder of why he fights and what he must protect. On a thematic level, she represents the endurance of the ordinary. She has no supernatural powers, no grand fate, yet she survives the struggles of poverty, hunger, and grief, with a quiet strength that rivals any beyonder. Melissa also embodies the legacy of her parents. From her father, she inherits resilience, born out of sacrifice. From her mother, a subtle devotion to duty and order. But unlike them, she channels those lessons into the practical realm, keeping her siblings alive, the household functional, and hope alive through the most ordinary of acts. Melissa Moretti may never ascend like Klein or scheme like Amon, but she is one of the most profound characters in Lord of the Mysteries. She embodies the unsung strength of ordinary people who carry the weight of survival on their shoulders. Her practicality, her quiet anxieties, her hidden tenderness, and her tragic resilience remind us that the fight for life isn't always against gods or monsters. It's in the silent sacrifices of people like her, the strength to endure when everything else falls apart.